Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So as you know, Jamaica is getting ready to drill for oil. The United Oil and Gas, the company that owns the license to drill or the license to explore for oil in Jamaica, is now looking for a major international partner to start the drilling process in Jamaica. And they plan to drill 14 offshore wells out in the Walter Morant Basin. That is to the south coast of Jamaica. It's actually two different areas. You have the Walter Basin, which is below Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth, and then you have the Morant Basin, which is below St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Catherine. But the company has the license to explore both regions, so they just call it the Walter Morant Basin. And to drill a oil well offshore is very expensive. It can cost between 60 and 80 million dollars to drill one well. And Jamaica plans to drill 14 wells because recently tests were done and it confirms that oil is in the basin. But nobody knows the quantity of oil. So if they drill and they find commercial quantities of oil, then game changer. Jamaica is on a new path to success because that means you can literally spend millions to drill the oil and you'll make it back. Now, if they drill the exploratory wells, the 14 exploratory wells, and they don't find commercial quantities, meaning they just find a small amount of oil, then it wouldn't make sense to spend that kind of money because you're not going to get the returns. So the next step in the process is to drill these wells to find out the quantity of oil that is in the basin. Now, some estimates say up to 7 billion barrels of oil is in the basin. That, as I said, would be a game changer for Jamaica. So we will keep you guys updated and we are going to give you an update as to what happens next, the drilling for oil. The search for oil in Jamaica has reached a decisive stage, where scientific promise must now be matched with financial strength and technical execution. At the center of this effort is United Oil and Gas, which has been leading offshore exploration activities. While early results have indicated a possible presence of hydrocarbons, the transition from exploration to actual drilling depends heavily on securing the right partners and carrying out a complex, high-cost drilling operation. One of the most critical next steps in Jamaica's oil journey is the identification of a suitable farm-out partner. In the oil and gas industry, smaller exploration companies often lack the capital required to drill expensive offshore wells. As a result, they seek partnerships with larger firms that can share both the financial burden and the technical risk. Major international oil companies such as ExxonMobil, Shell, and Total Energies are ideal candidates. These companies possess vast experience in deep water drilling and have successfully developed oil resources in frontier regions similar to Jamaica. Once a suitable partner is secured and a final investment decision is made, the project moves into the drilling phase. Offshore drilling is a highly technical and carefully planned operation. It begins with detailed well planning, where engineers determine the exact location, depth, and design of the well using seismic data and geochemical analysis. Environmental impact assessments are also conducted to minimize risk to marine ecosystems. The next stage involves mobilizing a drilling rig, typically a floating vessel such as a drill ship or semi-submersible platform. This rig is transported to the selected offshore location and positioned precisely above the drilling site. Support vessels accompany the rig, supplying equipment, fuel, and personnel necessary for the operation. Drilling begins with a process known as spudding, where a drill bit penetrates the seabed. As the well is drilled deeper, drilling mud is circulated to cool the drill bit, maintain pressure, and bring rock cuttings back to the surface for analysis. The well is constructed in sections with steel casing inserted and cemented in place to stabilize the structure and prevent leaks. Safety is a top priority and equipment such as blowout preventers is installed to control pressure and avoid uncontrolled releases of oil or gas. As drilling progresses, advanced tools are used to analyze the surrounding rock formations. This process, known as logging, helps engineers determine whether oil is present and in what quantities. Once the target depth is reached, the well is tested to measure the flow rate and pressure of any discovered hydrocarbons. This stage ultimately determines whether the discovery is commercially viable. The outcome of the first exploration well is critical. A dry well would mean no oil is present in that location, while a small discovery may not justify further investment. However, a successful commercial discovery could transform Jamaica's economic landscape, leading to additional wells, infrastructure development, and eventual oil production. In conclusion, Jamaica's path toward oil production depends on two key factors: securing a capable international partner and successfully drilling its first exploration well. While the process is complex, expensive, and uncertain, the potential rewards are significant. If successful, oil drilling could reshape the nation's energy sector and economic future. However, until a well confirms commercially viable reserves, Jamaica remains a frontier exploration zone standing at the threshold of possibility. Alright, guys, that's the end of the update. Let us know what you think. Leave your comments in the section below. Alright, guys, have a good day.